Hey, this is Bryan. Thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at kiesmotorsports.com. We've had a ton of requests to see if we can install a DCT gear selector from an F80 M3 in my F30, so that's exactly what we did. How'd it turn out? Stay tuned. Let's pull the car in and I'll show you how we installed it. Let's start by removing the gear selector that's in my car today. Now, if you're not familiar with how to remove your gear selector, we do have a dedicated video up above that will help you out, but you're going to need a trim tool, you're going to need a T25. For this, also a pick tool. So what you want to do is remove this piece of trim right here. Pops out pretty easy, just has a couple clips that's secured in place. Again, always use a plastic trim tool when removing that. What you want to do now is take your T25 and remove the 4 T25s that hold this into place. Then all you need to do, simply rock this up, pull it out, and there's a connection over here. You just press on this little tab on the right, press on the little tab on the left, and gently wiggle it out. So here is a look at my F80 M3 gear selector that I got online. I got the cheapest one possible, so as you can see, it's pretty beat up, but I wanted to make sure it worked. I didn't want to spend $400 and get one that was a dud. So I got my DCT gear selector, I plugged it in, found out that it was the exact same plug, and I also found out that the base was exactly the same, so everything fit in perfect, not an issue at all. I started up the car, I put it in drive, it drove, put it in reverse, it went in reverse, everything was great. But there was two big flaws. So first off, as you'll see, and as was expected, there's no park button. Wasn't really an issue. All you need to do is just leave it in drive, turn the car off, and even with the F30, it'll put you in park automatically. Now the second flaw was you couldn't put it in DS mode. So if you wanted to have it in sport, maybe do some manual shifting and whatnot, you were kind of locked out of that mode, which I kind of thought was too big of a deal breaker to move forward and keep it in the car. The other problem is it told me every time I got in the car that there was a gear selector malfunction, which was pretty annoying, and I couldn't really find a way to code it out. So then as I looked at these, I wanted to have kind of the look of this one, but the functionality of this one, so I combined them. So actually what you're looking at right here, this is the bottom plate of my stock shifter, and this over here is the bottom plate of the F80 gear selector. So here's how I did it. So what I did is I took a pick tool and I gently pried off this little screen piece right there. And then there was a very tiny screw. I don't have the screw in there right now. I want to say it was like a T10 or so, but it was extremely small. Once I removed that, all of this came apart, and I realized that there's a little plug right here, and it went into a little board, which is over on our glass table right there. So then I did the exact same thing to my F80 gear selector. Again, I gently removed this cover here. I have it held on with 3M tape right now. And then once again, you can see that there is a little T10 that needs to be removed. Once you remove that, this entire piece comes off, and I realized that it had the same little plug as my old one. So naturally, I took the shift knob off of the F80 M3 base and I put it on my F30 base and I put it back together. And since this is from an F30, I knew that there would be no problem plugging this in, and I knew that there would be no problem reinstalling it into here. Everything was fully installed, it looked incredible, and I couldn't wait to test drive it, so let's test drive it and show you how it works. So I started up my car, and all those malfunctions about being the wrong shifter were gone. Then put the car in reverse just by pushing up. As you can see, everything worked fine. Back out of the garage here. After I saw reverse worked fine, I just pulled it down, and as you can see, it went into drive fine, and everything seemed fine. Now, as I mentioned before, one of the things that I really wanted to be able to do was to put it in sport mode. So I put it over to the left and I got S1. I could paddle and then it goes into M mode, manual shifting, and everything seemed fine. There was really no cause for concern. Again, no coating or anything. Now, if you've noticed, every time we drive and come to a stop, the car makes a dingy sound, the chime, and if you look close here, it flashes. So I'll go up here and we'll stop. So then I thought, if the chime is really the worst of it, you know, what else could go wrong, you know? It's only a little chime, so it's kind of annoying, but it's like when you think about when you're driving, unless you're in stop and go traffic, because that would get really annoying. You know, how often you actually come to a complete stop and then go again, you know, a little chime here and there, who cares? I didn't really see it as a big deal. So I had the shifter installed in my car for, I guess, about 2 or 3 weeks or so, problem-free, and I really started to enjoy it. But here's what happened to me. I went to go pick up my son at school, and basically the bus was gonna come around here, and there were parking spots on this side and also this side. So I pulled into the parking lot, I swung up to back in, I went to put my car in reverse, and this happened. The car shifted into park. So at this point, my car would not go in reverse, and I am in the middle of a lane trying to back in my bright blue BMW, and the bus is gonna have to go exactly where I am. So I thought, you know, I'm not really sure what's up with reverse, but I'll just put it in drive, and then this happened. So at this point, reverse has stopped working, drive has stopped working, so I thought, I'll just put it in neutral and push it. Well, you can guess what happened. So at this point, my car is stuck in the middle of the road where the bus needs to go. It's not looking so hot, and I didn't have any tools and I didn't have my other shifter with me, and this had been working flawlessly for 2 or 3 weeks with no issue at all, but for whatever reason, my car just decided that it didn't like it. Now, thankfully, I just stopped my car, I turned it off completely. I went up to the bus and I said, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm stuck right where you have to go. And he was cool about it. And what I ended up letting my car do is I let my car sit for about 5 minutes or so because he was still waiting for a couple minutes. I got back in my car. Thank God I was able to get my car in drive. I drove it right to the shop and I pulled this out. So although it looks amazing and although it may work right out of the box, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Now, I have a lot of friends in the BMW world, and I talked to a lot of them about how we could potentially code this to work, and all of them were kind of like, I'm not really sure if it's gonna work or not. So they didn't really have too high of hopes, and unfortunately, I got left stuck. So something to know, just be very careful again if you are going to do this, because there is a really good possibility that you could get stuck somewhere. And basically what I found, again, is the cure is to turn the car completely off, lock it, let it sit for about 5 minutes, let the car go to sleep, and then you might be able to get back into gear. Why does it work some of the time and not all the time? I have no idea, but at this point, I really don't trust this, and I don't think it's a good idea, although it looks really cool. So this is Brian. Thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you liked today's video, give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and check us out at kiesmotorsports.com for all your BMW retrofit, performance, and aesthetic needs. Once again, this is Brian, and I'm gonna put my other shifter in. Have a good day.